The president is constantly lying and spreading conspiracy theories every day. It's getting worse. I find myself wondering, what more should the press be doing to try to convey this extraordinary and uncomfortable situation? Should there be a bug in the corner of the screen that says, warning, the president is probably misleading you again? What are the answers here? Of course, he tells us to trust him about everything, right? He tells us all these lies, he spreads all these falsehoods, and then he tells us there's no collusion, tells us he's innocent, but he's done nothing to earn your trust, and everything to squander it.
Speaking of spreading falsehoods and concocting conspiracy theories, what about this one from your network, Brian? Michael Cohen claims Trump knew in advance of the 2016 Trump Tower meeting. Michael Cohen, President Donald Trump's former personal attorney, claims that then-candidate Trump knew in advance about the June 2016 meeting in Trump Tower, in which Russians were expected to offer his campaign dirt on Hillary Clinton. Sources with knowledge tell CNN Cohen is willing to make that assertion to special counsel Robert Mueller, the sources said. That's interesting because Michael Cohen testified to Congress that he didn't have any idea whether Donald Trump knew in advance about the meeting or not. What's even more interesting is that the anonymous source who told CNN that Michael Cohen was going to testify that Trump knew in advance about the meeting was Clinton crony and current Michael Cohen lawyer Lanny Davis, who just admitted that he was that anonymous source and is apologizing for confirming information that he knew nothing about. This from the New York Post. CNN reported last month that Cohen was willing to testify to special counsel Robert Mueller that Trump knew in advance of the meeting during which the Russian lawyer offered dirt on then-candidate Hillary Clinton. When the Post called Cohen's lawyer Lanny Davis at the time to confirm the report, he said as an anonymous source that it was accurate. But now, speaking on the record, he is apologizing for confirming something he did not know to be true. Quote, I regret that I wasn't clear enough to the Post. I should have been more clear. I could not independently confirm the information in the CNN story. I'm sorry that I left that impression. I wasn't at the meeting. The only person who could confirm that information is my client. Well, it looks like your client doesn't know squat, because even the Washington Post is reporting that Lanny Davis is, quote, backing away from confident assertions that he made that Cohen has information to share with investigators that shows Trump knew in 2016 of Russian efforts to undermine Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton. Lanny Davis, a spokesman and attorney for Cohen, and for the Clintons I may add, said in interviews this weekend that he is no longer certain about claims that he made to reporters on background and on the record in recent weeks about what Cohen knows about Trump's awareness of the Russian efforts. Yes, Cohen told Congress he doesn't know if Donald knew about the Trump Tower meeting. And speaking of fake news, CNN is reporting that President Trump has propped up the false claim that big tech is out to silence conservatives. President Trump is exacerbating a long-standing paranoia from conservatives who have for years erroneously accused social media companies of bias and censorship. We've been wrong all these years, guys. Republicans and right-wing media outlets have been all too happy running with the narrative that social media companies are censoring conservatives. The facts be damned. Fox News, The Drudge Report, Breitbart, and other outlets have amplified claims that conservatives are under fire and that their freedom of expression is under threat on Twitter, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Oh, well, why would we think that? Trump's Friday morning tweet was the latest salvo in a long-running theme pushed by Republicans and conservatives. For years, the conservative media machine has pushed the flimsy narrative that conservatives are unfairly treated by social media companies, which they accuse of bias and censorship. When the claims often fall apart under a light touch of scrutiny, right-wing media outlets continue to advance the narrative, irrespective of the facts. This is like some next-level Orwellian propaganda. But there is some good news, because Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey is going to have to testify in front of the House Commerce Committee in a week and a half. Have fun, Jack!